President Donald Trump fired the two Democratic members of the Federal Trade Commission on Tuesday. Those within his party say he's legally within his rights. Democrats and affected commissioners say the firings are illegal. The FTC is tasked with enforcing consumer protection and antitrust laws. Traditionally, the five-member commission is set up in a bipartisan way, 3 from the president's party and 2 from the other. The commissioners Trump fired are Rebecca Kelly Slaughter, appointed during Trump's first term in the White House, and Alvaro Bedoya, appointed during the Biden administration. In a letter seen by the Wall Street Journal and others, at least one of the commissioners removed from their post was told, "Your continued service on the FTC is inconsistent with my administration's priorities. Accordingly, I am removing you from office pursuant to my authority under Article 2 of the Constitution." Bedoya reacted to his dismissal on X, saying, "The president just illegally fired me. This is corruption, plain and simple." He says the president wants the FTC to be a lapdog for his golfing buddies. Meanwhile, Slaughter said in a statement emailed to multiple media outlets, "The president illegally fired me from my position as a federal trade commissioner, violating the plain language of a statute and clear Supreme Court precedent." The precedent in question arises from Humphrey's executor v. United States. 100 years ago, President Calvin Coolidge appointed William Humphrey to the FTC. Humphrey was reappointed by President Herbert Hoover to serve a 7-year term in 1931. When President Franklin D. Roosevelt took office, he asked Humphrey to resign so he could appoint someone more supportive of his New Deal policies. Humphrey refused, and FDR eventually fired him, but Humphrey kept showing up for work and a paycheck. See, the Federal Trade Commission Act says any commissioner may be removed by the president for inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance in office. The case made its way to the Supreme Court, where in 1935, justices ruled a president cannot fire members of the FTC solely on the basis of policy disagreement. The White House is claiming precedent that predates Humphrey's. In 1926, Myers v. United States ruled the president can dismiss executive branch officials without approval from Congress. Humphreys narrowed the scope of this ruling. According to the Journal, the White House is arguing FTC commissioners are more aligned to executive branch officials than justices understood in 1935. Trump-appointed FTC Chairman Andrew Ferguson says the president is fully within his constitutional rights to shape the commission in his own image. He said in a statement, "President Donald J. Trump is the head of the executive branch and is vested with all of the executive power of our government. I have no doubts about his constitutional authority to remove commissioners, which is necessary to ensure democratic accountability for our government." The president's power to fire is already being tested. President Trump fired Democratic National Labor Relations Board member Gwen Wilcox shortly after taking office. Earlier in March, a federal judge reversed that dismissal and ordered Wilcox to be reinstated to her position. In the opinion, Obama-appointed District Judge Beryl Howell wrote, "An American president is not a king, not even an elected one, and his power to remove federal officers and honest civil servants like plaintiff is not absolute, but may be constrained in appropriate circumstances as are present here." Trump's disapproval of judicial decisions reached another level this week as a conservative Supreme Court justice admonished the president. After U.S. District Judge James Boasberg ruled against Trump's plan to use the Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelan gang members, the president posted to Truth Social, "He didn't win anything. I won for many reasons, in an overwhelming mandate, but fighting illegal immigration may have been the number one reason for this historic victory. I'm just doing what the voters wanted me to do. This judge, like many of the crooked judges I am forced to appear before, should be impeached." Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts issued a rare rebuke in a statement shared with Straight Arrow News. "For more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision. The normal appellate review process exists for that purpose." Let's wrap this back up where we started, the FTC. It's unclear if the ousted commissioners plan to legally fight their firings, or if they'll continue to show up to the office like William Humphrey in the 1930s. For now, there are only 2 commissioners left at the FTC, Chairman Andrew Ferguson and Commissioner Melissa Holyoke. The third Republican, nominee Mark Metter, still needs to be confirmed by the Senate. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Simone Del Rosario.